That you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on. And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on.
Hi, family. Welcome to those that are new. Welcome back to those that are returning. Thank you all so much for coming over, for stopping by my crib again. I really appreciate that. We have another exciting video today. We are going to talk about the 3 most asked interview questions and how to answer them to guarantee you get that job in 2020. Keep watching. So today I am really excited about this video. I mean, I'm excited about every video, but I'm really excited not only because I am back with you all again, but also we're gonna be talking about interview questions. And you know, hiring season is upon us because the world is slowly starting to reopen, which means companies are about to start bringing people back. They're about to start bringing new people on, and we have to be ready for that. So yeah, and the reason I specifically said 2020 in the title is because some crazy things have been going on in the world. So, you know, interview questions even will probably be different, but the answers are definitely going to be different because we've all been affected by this pandemic in so many of the same ways, but also in so many different ways. There's so many common questions that are asked in interviews, but I had to narrow it down to just 3, just for the sake of the length of the video. So yeah, let's get started. The first question that is usually asked is, tell me about yourself. Now, believe it or not, this question is an icebreaker, kind of to help you relax, help the interviewer relax, and just to let them get to know you a little better. So with this question, you want to make sure you include what you did in your previous or current role. So for example, in my previous role, I distributed pension payments for retirees for 2 different corporations. In that role, I acquired particular skills, such as the ability to anticipate possible roadblocks, you know, things like that. So you always want to, even though they're asking you about yourself, you want to include whatever you were doing previously or what you're currently doing, because yeah, they want to know about you personally, but they really want to know about you professionally. That's what's really important. Okay, so when you're answering that question, you want to make sure you summarize the responsibilities for the role that you are currently applying for. Make sure you intertwine those responsibilities in that tell me a little about yourself response. Okay, question number 2. What is your biggest weakness? That question is something, isn't it? Okay, because you want to, you know that you have to give them a weakness, but you also can't appear that you have a weakness, you know? So your weakness is going to be something that is going to benefit the company and benefit you, but it's still gonna seem like, you know, but it's gonna be something that you're concerned about, but that you're working on. Your response to this question is your chance to shine. Okay, so one of your weaknesses could be, I have trouble saying no. And then you'll give an example, maybe like, I may have plans one night, but then if a supervisor or a coworker asks me to work overtime or asks me to swap shifts with them, it's hard for me to say no because I don't want my team to be in a tight situation. I want to help my coworker out, so I'm gonna go ahead and work that overtime even though I had plans. You know, so that's a weakness, but it will benefit the company, you know. Also, something else you can say is you are super detail oriented to the point where you will spend a little too much time analyzing the tiny details of a project. And then you'll say, but I'm working on that. I have a time management calendar. So I write down the time that I'm going to spend on each specific detail to make sure I stay on track on every project that I do. So that response is gonna tell the company is going to tell that interviewer that while this person is really detail oriented, they're going to make sure the job is done right. But because you're saying that it's to a fault and that you may spend more time on something or more time on something than you should, then and you tell them when you mention that I'm working on it, it also shows them that you recognize your weakness. Even though it's going to benefit the company, you're still working to improve it. So believe me, that question, the response to that question, that's going to put a toe in the door for you. I'm telling you. And the third question, why did you leave your previous company, or why are you leaving your current company? Now, that one, I mean, every interview, you're going to be asked that question. I mean, I would ask that question, because companies are looking for stability. They are looking for loyalty. You want to make sure you display both of those characteristics. So first of all, when you answer that question, you don't want to answer it with a negative. You're not going to say anything negative about your company. You're not going to say any negative experiences you received with any past coworkers. None of that. You're not going to talk down about your previous employer or coworkers. Of course, because of what's going on in the world, many people, if not most people, they're going to respond to that question with, I was laid off, because many of us may have been laid off, which is completely acceptable. Definitely, if that is the case, tell them, say that you were laid off. If you did leave your previous employer under, questionable circumstances,
if you got fired or if you quit.
Let's just be straight up. If you got fired or you quit, you don't really want to say, because I quit or because I got fired. Please don't say that.
Don't say that.
You'll say something like, in my previous position, I had gone as far as I could possibly go. There was no more room for new responsibilities. There was no more room for learning new trades, or something like that. So I decided, that in order to advance my career, I needed to look outside of my current employer, or I needed to look outside of my previous employer, something like that. You can say something like, I've been in that same field for the past 5 years or the past 10 years. My interests evolved, and now I wanted to look into retail management or whatever position that you're applying for. I wanted to look into this or whatever, so just make sure your response is always something positive. So those are our 3 questions. Now, what do you think? What do you think I'm about to offer you? The bonus? It wouldn't be right if I didn't offer you a bonus. So the bonus tip is to study the company that you're applying to. So you want to go onto their website. Most companies have an About Us tab. Go onto that, read that About Us. That's usually pretty general, but the way that you really learn about a company is you go onto their career tab, their career page, and you look at a couple of the positions they're hiring for and read about the responsibilities of those positions, just so you can get to know a little more about the company. That way, if they ask something like, why should we hire you, or in any question that they ask you, you can incorporate something that you've learned about that company into your answer. Also, if they do ask, why should we hire you, you will be able to say, because I know that you all are a company that distribute blah 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 blah. I am fascinated with blah 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 blah, or that is something that I have a history of distributing. You want to make sure they know that you know about their company. You want to make sure that they know that you did the research, that you are actually so interested in working for them that you learned about their company. Okay? That is so important, and that is so impressive. Okay? So those are my tips. You all, let's go out and get us some great jobs, because it's on the horizon. Companies are about to start opening their doors, and we want to be the ones walking through them. I really hope this helps. If y'all have any questions for me, leave them in the comments. If y'all want me to make this a series, leave it in the comments. If you want to know, okay, how would you suggest I answer this question, or if I'm asked this, just leave it all in the comments. I promise you all, I will respond. I promise you all, I am here for you all. I want to make sure we all succeed. Like I said, follow me. I'm telling you all, I am going to the top, and I want to take every single one of you all with me. I love you all. I am Melinda. I am your best friend that is going to last until the end. And I will see you all next time. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you thumbs up, and make sure you tune in for the next video. Bye.
It's only you. I wanna be down with what you're going through. I wanna be down. I wanna be down with